Gianni Infantino, actually, now the current FIFA president, and he started the term yesterday. But I know people are wondering, who is this Gianni Infantino actually? Because he's now the sheriff in town, and he's expected actually to deliver and shed the bad belief that people are saying that FIFA will only remain to be a corrupt backyard. But looking at his background, actually, Infantino was born in Brugg, Switzerland, and actually he has some Italian origin, and this is to do with matters of the parents. He studied law in the University of Freiburg in Switzerland, and actually, very impressively, you'll note that Infantino never played soccer at his, while he was coming up. So you can't be a FIFA president even if you never played the ball. So Infantino for you. He speaks fluently Italian, French, German, English, and also Spanish. I know it's very few of us who can actually be able to do that. Abula, you speak Swahili, and Swahili, so and some little English. So we see Gianni Infantino actually, in matters to do with language, he can be able to actually talk to different people with different nationalities. And I think this one is one of the very key importance that aided him in persuading the voters. I don't know if you'll agree with me, Abula.
Yeah, because it's easier for him to interact with other people. As he said yesterday when he was during his speech after winning, after he was pronounced the winner, he said that he went to various places in the world to search for the votes in the 200 places, the nationalities, the people who wanted to vote for him. So it's vital for him knowing such so many languages. It's very important for him to actually lead the football world.
Yeah, it's very actually easy for him to lead the football world. But now let's take a look at the roles that Infantino has been playing in due to matters of soccer leadership. I know before he became the FIFA president, he was actually the UEFA Secretary General, a very, very impressive role that he actually spearheaded from the year 2009. But because of his law background, he studied actually law, we've seen that earlier. Actually, he joined UEFA as a lawyer. He was representing them to do with matters of legal affairs, and that one actually is from 2000. And now this one shows us that actually he's been in the UEFA actually rankings for quite a number of years, because as a lawyer he started it from 2000, went on, became the UEFA Secretary General from 2009, a position he held until he was elected the FIFA president. And he actually introduced the financial fair play. I know a lot of people are wondering the financial fair play is actually where it came from, but not all teams are very impressed with actually the financial fair play. You'll agree with me, the likes of Chelsea, Manchester City, but very, very impressively to see that teams actually just sign players in regards to the amount of money they have. They don't use it in the advantage to actually make the other teams suffer. So if you were wondering about financial fair play, Infantino spearheaded that. He increased the numbers of Euro from in 2006 from 16 to 24. Actually, previously the teams that were participating in Euro were 16, but from 2016, 24 teams will be taking on to the pitch, and actually you give credit to Infantino for that. He spearheaded actually the campaign to have the Euro 2020 to be hosted in 13 different countries. I don't know how real this is going to be, Abula.
And it's something that he wants to transport it to maybe the World Cup, because he said one of the things that he's going to do is to expand or extend the World Cup from 32 teams to 40 teams. And that will mean that the African continent will have the chance to add more teams from the 5 which participate now to maybe 6 or even 7 teams. So there are things that he's made so many changes into the UEFA, and I think he's the right person to lead the world football right now.
Actually, just talking about what he's expecting, and him saying that the World Cup needs to have more teams and played in different continents, maybe different countries at the same time. Will this actually be come to be actualized, or is it just a wish that will say Infantino wanted to do this and maybe he'll face some hurdles in the way?
I think it will, because looking at he has already done that, and let's say the Euro 2020 will be played in 13 countries, 13 different countries, apart from only one country which we are used to. So it's something that many people, I think, will welcome it. It's a good idea, because let's look at since the World Cup started, it has only been hosted in an African country only once, and that is on 2010 in South Africa, and we'll have to wait for so many years before that happens again. So it's a good idea. I think people will welcome it.
People expect it to welcome that, and maybe because he's saying that he wants the number of teams that will be participating in the World Cup to be increased. Maybe that means just probably that African teams maybe might have more representatives in the World Cup. So it's a thing that we're waiting and to see how it goes. But before these elections actually took place, there are some minimum reforms that were passed by FIFA, and actually very, very key to see that FIFA have said that they're going to change the style of how they've been doing things. And with Infantino as the president, they want to do things in a different way. Some of the things that the reforms that were passed is separation of powers from political and business operations. We remember in the way FIFA was run, we had 24 actually executive committee members, but now this one will be shifted to 36. And actually, I know a person might be wondering why from 24 to 36. Actually, they wanted to have more representatives rather, and these are women representatives, because matters to do with soccer here in the country and also in the different federations all over the world, you'll find that the number of ladies is not that many. For instance, here in Kenya, Bula, they just concluded Football Kenya elections. You saw what transpired there. Doris Petra is the only lady in the high hierarchy of that leadership. I don't know, what's your take on that?
But it's a good thing that finally we have more women who represent the football, as Doris Petra now is the vice president of FKF. So it's a good thing. She started it, and let's say maybe more other will come in and help support football in the country.
So with more women, let's wait and see how that one is going to transpire. But now about the number of council members to be represented by the EXO committee. So I think it's just trying to bring the differences and make sure that things that are run by the management executive position of the FIFA do not interfere with the normal operations of FIFA. I know that is where we had issues of misappropriation of funds. And with that, he's saying that an independent audit is going to be formed so as actually to see that all the monies of FIFA are not actually, is not the president who decides that this money is supposed to be used here, this money is supposed to be used for that. I think this is a very impressive key, noting that some few billions have been stolen in FIFA, and this one is in the public domain, Abula.
Yeah, it is. For a period of 9 months, we've had so many cases of mismanagement of funds which are supposed to help in promoting football in various parts of the world. So it's something we have to separate the management and also the funds. It will be a good thing so that we don't have such cases. We've seen so many FIFA officials being suspended for such cases.
Actually, so impressively, we're going to see actually what that one. So these are just some of the reforms that are going to be there. But it will be very critical for this man Infantino, because there is more that is expected from him. But just some of the other reforms that are there. More ceremonial president. Actually, Infantino will be in office for not more than 12 years, and this is 3-year term, because actually one term is 4 years. So they passed and said it should be ceremonial, and the president actually won't be in that office for more than 3 terms for a maximum of 12 years. We've not been seeing this because actually one Sepp Blatter was in that office from the year 1998. And if he was not suspended from 8 years, that was shortened to 6 years, he will have still maybe been in this office.
He was supposed to be there because he's been there for 18 years, as you said it. And in May, we had the FIFA elections where he won. Actually, it was him with Prince Ali bin Hussein, and he won. So if had it not been for the cases that led to suspension, then maybe we will still have seen him right now. Maybe
Blatter would have been still there as the president. But there are also some reforms about the eligibility checks, and this one is to do with the credibility of the people who wanted to take the roles and be maybe in the EXO committee in FIFA, or maybe vie for the different positions in FIFA. So they'll be doing more background checks and seeing if you are actually facing any matters of corruption, maybe you won't be able to vie for any position. And another thing is that they want to have independent members on the finance committee. Previously in FIFA, the people who are actually taking charge of these finances of FIFA, the president will have said, let us allocate this money to a certain place or to a certain thing that maybe even never existed. So with that, money was being misused. Money was being just churned out, in, out, without being verified. So with an independent financial committee, maybe these are some of the issues that are going to be curbed, and we won't be seeing misuse of money. Terms limit and the publication of executive salaries. Actually, we don't know how much money Sepp Blatter used to earn. But I think we're now going to know how much money Gianni Infantino will be earning.
Yeah, we will, which is a good thing. Actually, we will know because Sepp Blatter, most of the cases maybe were true, that he misused the money which is supposed to help promote football in the world. So it's a good thing that we'll now know that how much money Gianni Infantino is going to earn. Yeah.
So I don't know in matters to do with the Football Kenya Federation, still we also don't know how much money the likes of Nick Mwendo make from that position.
He's still there, he's Zurich, but there are things that he said he's going to communicate with, and there are some reforms also they are going to do. So let's wait and see if we are going also to see that transform to the Kenyan football also.
Actually, in FIFA now we're going to be knowing the president, actually how much money that the president will be earning, and also the other executive members. But we're just waiting to see if actually Nick Mwenda, who actually was there voting, if at all, is going to disclose the amount of money that he's making. We know that there is about a 24 million grant that comes from FIFA every year, but sadly, FIFA don't follow up to see how this money is being used. So we don't know if FIFA will say that we've given you this money, we want to see how this money has been used. But for the number of years, about 135 years, FIFA have been issuing money to the federations, and there's no checking the books. There's
no, like the goal project, but it's a good thing that the new office now in town, they've started working at the goal, which is a good thing, showing that maybe for the years to come, you're going to see such projects being, because I was talking to someone, one of the journalists, and said, look at Uganda, maybe we have like 5 goal projects which are there. In Kenya, we only have 3, and right now we were supposed to have as many as 5, like Uganda. Yeah.
So it's an issue that we're going to wait. But actually, this man, Gianni Infantino, there's a lot that is waiting for him in this office. It will not be an easy ride for him, because a lot is expected for him actually to change the way FIFA has been doing its business. And one thing that he's saying that he's going to institute major reforms, and we've seen actually in the Congress there's some reforms that we are highlighting that actually they passed, but we're going to wait and see how real will they actually follow up to the billing, to what they said actually that they're going to be doing. And also about transparent management. We don't know how actually FIFA used to run its affairs, because they will do their business and just move on to another business, the gold projects that they have in the different countries, more so here in Africa. We don't know how much money is being spent by the management in actually facilitating all this, but we wait and see actually if Gianni Infantino is going to live to the billing and make his leadership be as transparent as many will love. Another important thing is investor and corporate appeal, and also confidence. Because of the corruption scandals that have been merging FIFA for quite a number of years now, people are saying that the goodwill of sponsors, maybe the people who come in to sponsor the different World Cups, the different footballing activities that we have, they are, let me just say, they're not as psyched up as they should be, because they're saying their money is not going to proper use. So Infantino actually, he needs to see that this corporate appeal and also confidence is back to the different football stakeholders in the country. And also of key importance is shed off the Blatter and Platini tag. Actually, you remember before Infantino actually went and said that he's going to be vying, he actually said that if Platini was going to vie for that position, he would have stepped down for his. So I think will Infantino have some Blatterism in him? Because he was a Secretary General, right man of Platini, and now it is him that is taking the office. What does that tell us?
No, actually, he has been there in the football management in Europe and also the world, so he knows what was going on in the office. There's something that we need to understand, that despite all the cases that Blatter had, there are some things that he did which were good to the football in the whole world. So he should do better than what Blatter did. Yeah.
So as we expect him to do better, I don't know how this issue of corruption is going to be handled, because we saw the likes of Jerome Valcke, who got a 12-year suspension. Sepp Blatter, it was 8, reduced to 6. Platini the same. A lot of people have been extradited. We've seen a lot of cases are still in the Switzerland courts, in the US courts. So how is Infantino going to handle this moving forward?
That's why we needed a new person in all those cases.
In short, you're saying we failed by giving Infantino the leadership role?
No, let's give him time and see what he's going to do, because he's been there and he knows what. You talked about the reforms that he did with the UEFA, the financial fair, which is a really good invention to English Premier League and also the UEFA in general. So let's see what he's going to do in the next few days.